gives me great pleasure to welcome Marilyn and Alan Bergman to our program. Thanks for being here. I first have to say it is an incredible honor. I grew up with your music, and I am just so delighted that you agreed to give us a
How to make you feel old.
Oh, I don't mean it that way. It's with great respect. Marilyn, we were talking off camera, and you shared with me you never would have met Alan had you not fallen down a flight of stairs.
It's true.
Tell us.
It's true. I was going to college in New York, and I was living in a old tenement in the Greenwich Village, which was not quite as chic as it is now, and it was a 5th floor walk-up. During the time I was in college, my parents moved out to California from New York, and I had no intention of coming here. I came out once, and I remember saying, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's beautiful and dumb. I was very snobbish about it. But I fell down a flight of steps on a rainy day in New York, these stone steps that were worn by a century of people going up and down them. And I broke one shoulder, and I dislocated the other, and so I had to come to California because I was in a cast, almost like a body cast. And I had to come out to have my mother take care of me. During that time, the only person I knew in California was a songwriter, a very good songwriter named Bob Russell. Because I used to play piano for him. He was a lyric writer, and this was before sophisticated recording equipment where we could have music playing as we wrote lyrics. So I used to play piano for him after school as he wrote wonderful songs like Don't Get Around Much Anymore and Brazil. He wrote a lot of great songs. So he had moved out here with his family, and I knew them, and I went to visit them when I was here, and I said to them, what am I going to do? It'll be at least 6 or 8 weeks before I can do anything. I couldn't drive. And he said, well, why don't you write songs? I said, I can't even turn the pages of a book. How am I going to play the piano? And he said, well, write lyrics. You could talk those into a tape recorder. So that's how I became a lyric writer.
Wow.
And shortly after that, I met Alan.
And how did you two meet?
Well, I was writing with a composer in the morning, and she was writing with the same composer in the afternoon. And one day he decided to introduce his AM lyric writer to his PM lyric writer. And we met, and we wrote a song that day, a terrible song. But we enjoyed the process. That was in 1956, and we've been writing together ever since.
Oh, man, incredible. And doing a heck of a job. Now, I understand you wooed Marilyn with that face.
Well, in 1957, we were very much in love, and I asked her to marry me. I didn't have a quarter. So what does a songwriter do when he doesn't have any money and he wants to get engaged, you know? So I wrote her a song. And the composer, this is the fellow who introduced us, he and I, we had a lot of chutzpah in those days. And we wangled an interview with Fred Astaire, who owned a record company. And we got this appointment with him, and he said, you know, I don't record anything that's not in a movie, but I love songs and I love writers. He said, would you sing it for me? So I sang a song called That Face to him, and he said, I love that, I'm going to record it next week. which he did. And I took a little dub home to Marilyn, and I said, will you marry me?
He knew that Fred Astaire at the time was my favorite singer.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how
So-
could you refuse? Oh my goodness. So we have just a small sampling of photographs, just some historic research that I've done. And we have a series of photographs holding Oscars. So tell us which Oscar this was and a little bit about the story behind the work.
Are these the same pictures?
Yeah, they're the same pictures.
Oh, okay.
I was young.
Which one is
That
this?
was for the Windmills of Your Mind.
That was the first Oscar.
Yeah,
And-
and that's the first song we wrote with Michel Legrand. And interesting, I play tennis. I still play tennis every day. And in 1966, I was playing tennis. I don't mean to drop names, but one of the players who was playing was Gene Kelly. And Gene said to me, I just finished a picture in France. The young composer is coming over here to do a little dubbing and stuff. And I think, I'm going to introduce you to him because I think you and Marilyn and Michelle will write wonderful songs. And we've been writing together with Michel Legrand since 1966.
So share with us some of the songs that you wrote together, just a couple of
Well,
titles.
Windmills of Your Mind, What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? How Do You Keep the Music Playing?
Summer Knows.
Summer Knows. A lot. We've written a lot. Yentl, we wrote the whole score with him. Yeah.
Another collaborator, Marvin Hamlish.
Yeah,
Marvin, yes.
Hamlish.
That's The Way We Were, yeah.
The Way We Were. Oh, what a great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
It's interesting, we're still writing with Marvin and we're still writing with Michelle. And it's wonderful, they're wonderful composers.
Great friends.
Yeah. Yeah, very.
This is the
That's the score for Yentl. Yeah, we won for the
another
score.
Academy Award for
Yeah.
Who's
Yentl.
that?
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond.
Yeah. He gave it. He
Presented the award, I
presented it,
guess.
Yeah.
So, my goodness, not just Academy Awards, but numerous Grammys, Golden Globes. Incredible, incredible. Now,
Doesn't
what-
make the song any better. You know?
No. Well, nothing like a little endorsement. But what I mean, with the limited amount of time I have you, one of the things that struck me so profoundly with this huge body of work, and hit after hit after hit.
Not really.
No, you know.
Well,
Not really.
you look up the website, it's pretty impressive. How do you keep that creative energy going?
Well, there were a lot of fountains, a lot of sources of energy and of inspiration. Music is really, I think, the most important one. One of the questions always asked, right? What comes first, the words of the music, you know? And we prefer to have the music first. Because that's really, we both started as musicians. So that's really what starts the motor going. There are various composers who like to work differently, and some composers would like to have a first few lines or a conceptual paragraph about the song. I think the other inspiration, because we write so much for film, or we did, it is the script, or the film if the film is shot. That's always been the most exciting part of what we do, has been writing in a dramatic context. I think we knew in the beginning that that's
what we
what we wanted to do. We wanted to write for movies and for theater, not for records. That was not what we dreamed of.
Were you surprised that so many of your soundtracks became best-selling albums or records?
Absolutely. We had
Yeah.
no idea, you know. The thrill really is when you write for motion pictures is that what happens when you see the words and the music and the image come together.
We have no idea when we're writing. We know, because we've studied the film, whatever the script, or we know where the song will begin and where the song will end. But within those parameters, you don't know until the song is laid against the picture. You don't know exactly what word's going to hit on what image. And that's one of the most exciting moments.
Yes, because what happens is there's a fourth entity that happens from these three elements, and it's really exciting.
And the fourth entity being the response from the audience?
The words,
the music, the
and
film, and then the combination of those three creates something else. There's a kind of amalgam that takes place. Sometimes it's not great, and a word will land on an image that's either too close to what the word means, and it's like a Mickey Mouse thing, and we'll ask the director if he or she could just move the film just a second, you know.
Yeah, there's a scene in The Way We Were, for instance, where there's a line in the lyric, "Watercolor Memories," and on that line, "Watercolor Memories," Sidney Pollack, there's a scene where they're rowing on.
There's a cut to the river.
Yeah. And we said, please, Sidney, move it so it's not, you don't hear the word water on the, but he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it, so every time we see that movie, we kind of go,
we're the only ones.
Watercolor Memories, that's such a beautiful line. And where did the line come from?
Oh, I don't know. We never know who wrote what. We never know who wrote what.
But,
that's a great title. The Way We Were was not our title. It was
Arthur Lawrence.
Arthur Lawrence, who wrote the book. It's his title, and we rarely.
The only time we ever got a good title.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Well, I also read that when you are working together, by the time the end product is done, you're not sure who wrote what line.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think if one of us has said something surprising, we will remember. Occasionally that, but we surprise each other. We would remember some of that, but otherwise, it's such an interesting process that by now we don't question it and just let it happen.
Alan, you said in one of the interviews I saw that it's so easy. It's so easy.
Easy? No, I didn't say that.
You didn't?
No, I didn't mean the
He
word.
meant the marriage.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That's exactly what it did mean.
That's exactly
Somebody
right.
asked
No, I said it was that the marriage that was effortless. No, I didn't
That
say
was the
easy.
word.
Yeah.
And the
Effortless.
question was, that's usually with some kind of disbelief. People say, how do you be together 24 hours a day? You work together, you live together, you eat together, you sleep together.
Yes.
Isn't that hard? And
Yes.
then Alan usually says no.
And then I say, the answer is this: one washes, one dries. That's the answer.
Beautiful.
Good answer, Alan.
What matters most? The latest CD by Barbara Streisand.
Yes.
And she said the most beautiful things about you both.
Well.
She's our muse.
Yes, she's our muse. She's recorded 64 songs of ours.
I think more now.
I don't know,
I think
but
so.
something like that. And there is a chemistry there, and we.
It's roots too.
Yeah, we grew up in the same.
She grew up years later.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and even born in the same hospital you
That's
were.
true.
Yeah, it's like when we were kids, our mothers took us to Carnegie Hall every Saturday. There were children's concerts. The conductor, Walter Damrosch, which was long before Bernstein, had children's concerts. Our parents took us. When you were 6 years old and you were Jewish, in Brooklyn, you took piano lessons. We did, you know, there were so many things about our childhood that were similar, you know, which has to do great with...
We interrupted the question.
Well, I can't help but think, and in my research of you, you walked into the club where she was singing, and you made it a point of saying how incredible she was.
Yeah.
And you asked her, do you know
How wonderful you are.
Yeah.
And I can't help but think how influential you have been getting her on the path. Because her, you know, hearing that, do you feel that you possibly, your encouragement and your acknowledgement of her talent came at just the right moment for her?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Her answer to that question, because we came, you know, backstage, we were introduced to her, and this very composed, she was 18 years old, I think, but she was just as sure and as gifted and as clear about her work and about herself then as she is now. Maybe more sure. As she's grown older, she's questioned more about herself. But I said to her, as I stood before her, and she was a little frosty, I thought, and I just said, do you know how wonderful you are? Because I have to preface it by saying, we were writing a Broadway show and we were auditioning singers, girl singers that day. And we must have heard 50 girl singers that day. And at the end of the day, it must have been 7 or 7:30, Julie Stein, the composer, who was directing and producing the show, now co-writing, said, come, we're going downtown, there's a girl I want you to hear sing. And he said, Julie, we've been listening to girl singers all day long. He said, not like this one. And he was right. We sat down, and I remember where we were sitting, and I see the stage in front of me, and this young woman walked out, dressed in very original clothes, which she had put together, some thrift shop outfit or other. And she opened up her mouth and started to sing, and I started to cry. I don't know whether she saw me, but I was so shocked and overwhelmed by her. And so the only thing I could say to her afterwards was to ask her this question. And she looked back at me and she said, she didn't say anything, as a matter of fact. And I said, I guess you do know how wonderful you are. The point is, there's a part of her that did know, in a sense, know that she had to do what she was doing, and she had to do it in this particular way. And she had to sing the songs she chose to sing.
What a beautiful collaboration. And
Well, she's the best there is. I mean,
and I understand that when you write, you hear her voice. Is that true? Is that an accurate statement? That
well, it depends upon the song, you know, or the assignment. But we would love to hear her sing.
more.
Yeah. One of the things that started was she did an album in those days, an LP, she had done 2 or 3 LPs of standards. And she wanted to do an LP of young writers. And we had one of the songs on there, which she performed in Las Vegas in the first act that she did there. And somehow, you know, we went to Las Vegas to hear her do it, and we were thrilled, and it started to, then we started to see each
I
other.
don't know, we're like family.
Yeah.
Our children have grown up together, our son and our daughter. our son's a little younger. Oh, but they were close in age, and I don't know, but it's
And that's okay.
long-standing, many years now, very deep relationship.
Does she ever come to you with an idea?
Yeah, she came to us with Yentl.
Ah,
That was the
that's
idea.
quite an idea.
Yeah.
She had optioned this story of Isaac Singer's, and
Yeah. Oh, we had so much. I have to tell you, we had so much fun making that movie. I don't know if you've ever bought the DVD. There's 2 DVDs that you can get with it, and it's really worth the deluxe package, as they say.
2 CDs. You mean, inside.
No, 2 DVDs.
DVDs,
Yes.
yeah.
And one of them is just showing you the rehearsals. We did a lot of it with a television camera in our living room.
She was blocking.
And she was blocking. And
Staging.
in the DVD, you see the blocking, and then it dissolves into the movie itself. So you see how the process works. And you see what really a genius she is, because those things that she saw, she envisioned the whole movie.
She's an original.
Yeah, I mean, you can't imagine.
You'll all agree about that.
But I mean, directorially too. That's what, that's another thing that makes her such a great singer, because besides having a wonderful instrument and having the heart and the intelligence, she's a director, and that fourth entity, so to speak, really makes her so unique, and the performance of her vocal stuff is.
Had enough about her.
Yeah.
Take any interest in your profession?
Has your daughter taken any interest in your profession? Is she
You mean
too?
personally, has she?
No, I mean, is
Wanting
she-
to do that?
Yes.
She's a film producer.
A documentary film producer. Yeah.
How is it that you came to meet Joe Salm and start to work on Visions of America? Tell us about that.
Well, that came from Roger.
Whom we've known for a long time. And admired for a long time.
How did you meet
And
Roger?
Well, we wrote a song where Roger played us a melody. This is.
Many years ago. When was it, Roger?
When was it, Roger?
72?
No, really?
That long ago?
I have the feeling I've been here before. It's
72.
wow.
And
no
repeat
idea.
the song so we have it clear on the tape.
A wonderful melody of his called "I Have the Feeling I've Been Here Before."
For Carmen McRae.
Yes, we wrote it for Carmen McRae. But Roger called us and said about this project, and he said, I have this melody, can I come down? And he played it for us, and he said, well, it's about America and so forth. And I think, as I remember, I said, why don't we call it We the People? Something, is that?
Actually, it was Joe's idea. Originally, he said there's never been a song called We the People.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. And
Thank you, Founding
And
Fathers.
I kept doing da da dee da, and you kept going da 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 dee 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 dee, and I kept trying to go.
oh, really?
Yeah, that was the beginning.
But somehow those
One
words,
song
we
led
the
to
people
another.
no, we the people really sat on those notes beautifully, and that's how that.
And these songs are surfacing as almost anthems in a way.
Well,
Do you get that sense?
I don't know about anthems, but We the People is definitely an anthem. But in in showing us all these
Fantastic pictures.
pictures,
Extraordinary pictures.
and then Roger wrote a beautiful suite based on these images. And then Joe asked us, could we write some other songs based on the themes of the suite based on the images.
But Joe, correct, where are you, Joe?
You're right. Here's Joe.
Okay, where?
Right here.
Okay. Joe had already broken down the work into sections, chapters, hadn't you? Chapters.
Yeah.
And those were,
Chapters without notes.
Well, then it became movements.
movements.
And they became 3 movements.
First
Yeah.
they were movements, then they became chapters, or the other way around, I don't know. But they became kind of the markers for where the songs.
So you were inspired by the imagery.
Oh, and the music.
And the
Oh,
music.
you have to have the music.
There's that comparison, there's that combination again.
Yes.
Of music and images.
Yeah.
That's like
Which-
film.
Just like film, yeah.
So interesting. Well, you're going to perform a couple of songs from Visions of America. I do want to give everybody the opportunity to ask you a couple questions if you guys are okay
Or
with
leave.
that. Yeah, but we can't let you leave just yet. And then we'll wrap up our night. I know it's been very late, and I can't tell you how honored and just,
Oh,
you know, what a beautiful willingness to share your time and talent with us.
Donna is really so good at this. I hope you all appreciate her.
Thank you. It's a passion.
I mean, I said that one of the reasons why there were not a lot of questions afterward is that I think she has been the audience sitting here as well, and I think has asked a lot of the questions that you would have asked.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
That's a gift.
Well, you know, I mean, just, I'm in awe of creativity, and to sit and talk to people like yourself, and for you to share and give insight into your process, I think feeds us all. And to me, you know, it's easy. It's a pleasure.
Definitely.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Tonight we've heard about a collaboration for Visions of America, but I still do not understand how, where, when is this going to be presented?
Well, as Joe and Roger told you, it was first performed in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Symphony Orchestra and Peter Nero narrating.
Oh, Clint Eastwood narrated. He was the conductor. Peter Nero.
Clint was not in Philadelphia.
No, but he was on
He
film.
was on the film already?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, don't ask me that.
Just, and then Joe could probably tell you more about this, but this summer, the Boston Pops will feature this in their performances. You will have the film, which is extracted from the book, Roger's suite plus those 5 songs, maybe a 6th. And we'll have, so far we have a great singer, Patty Austin, who did it in Boston and in Philadelphia. She's a great singer. And one other, we hope it will be James Taylor. We hope. We don't know. We don't know that yet. And then we hope that this will travel from symphony orchestras all over the country.
Will it be recorded? Will it be a CD?
Oh, yeah.
One hopes.
One hopes, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it will be.
A CD and a DVD, so you could get the whole,
And the book.
yeah, and the book. You should all buy the book because it's long.
It's an absolutely beautiful book.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a very good time for there to be a positive perspective on America.
And a reminder of what the country is about.
Yeah.
Should be about.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, really, he really did photograph democracy, and that's a tough job. No, he did it very well.
Well, we're anxious to hear you sing, Alan.
Oh, please.
And
But he's going to play. I mean, you
Yes.
could better he should play. I mean, he's
Well,
great.
let's. As much as I love talking to you, and I can keep talking all night long.
Another time.
Yes. So, I do have to say, when I spoke with Marilyn on the phone for the first time, and we sent you all the material, you said so beautifully. You said, "I wish we lived in the community so we can be part of your program." And that was such a beautiful statement. And now you are. So, yes. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
The front door could do with a new coat of paint, but the mat on the porch still says welcome. The mailbox is there, but its numbers are faint. It's a place that you want to call home. The tree that you climbed doesn't seem quite as tall, but its apples are sweet as September. Each bend in the road has a sight you recall. It's a place that you want to call home. Nothing like a small town to put you at ease. Everybody always says thank you and please. Barnyards and schoolyards, hay rides and sleigh rides and more. Your yesterday's there before you. Deep down in your soul, something peaceful is stirred. There's a reason it's known as the heartland. The sound that you hear is the song of a bird and the voice of the cities nowhere to be heard. And the sun is as warm as the smile on your face. In this place that you want to call home, a place that you want to call home. put you at ease. Everybody always says thank you and please. Barnyards and schoolyards, hay rides and sleigh rides and more. Your yesterday is there before you. Deep down in your soul, something peaceful is stirred. There's a reason it's known as the heartland. The sound that you hear is the song of a bird and the voice of the cities nowhere to be heard. And the sun is as warm as the smile on your face. It's a place that you want to call home, a place that you want to call home.
That was beautiful. That was perfect.